Testing, test. Alright, cool. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Big Pasta Gaming. Today's gonna be a quick one because I didn't want to game today, but today we, as the title says, it's gonna be just me talking about my Caviar experience, guys. I tried Caviar today. See, it came in this little box. And we open the box. You get caviar. Get this nice little tin. And I got some pictures to show you guys. So yeah, you open the tin and the caviar's in there. It's literally, it's such a small tin, right? You guys can tell how like thin it is, and it's literally like, it's the palm of my hand, right? It's the palm of my hand. So super small. It's a super small amount, right? If you got like a whole spoonful of it, you'd probably get like 2 big spoonfuls from this, and that's about it, right? It's such a small amount of caviar here or whatever. But I did get to try this tonight. I shared it with my family. So and I just wanted to give some of my thoughts. So basically, and here I will pull up some pictures that I took. So this is what it looks like up close, obviously. This is the tin of caviar, and oh boy. So when I got in the mail, I didn't, when you get in the mail, right, I got, and I'll show pictures of it, but I got this tin of caviar with some whipped cream. It's like this special kind of, I don't remember the name, it's on one of the pictures here. So with this cream, and then I got these little things called blinis or whatever. It's like a little mini pancake, right? I think Eggo Waffles Company, they do like mini pancakes. It was sort of like that, except a lot more like light and fluffy and whatnot. So that's what I got in the mail, and they did overnight shipping. So they literally, like, the company is in New York, so they flew the caviar over to my place overnight, and I paid extra for that, obviously. But it's so that it stays fresh, right? They wanted to stay fresh, and the whole thing came wrapped with coolers, with like freezing packs, just so that the caviar could stay cool. But yeah, and so basically, so when you get this, right, you get this, and then you finally get it open, right? It's pretty hard to get open. It basically looks like this, right? It looks like it looks like this. This picture was taken after we got a little spoonful, but so it's covered, end to end with caviar, but the fish eggs, caviar is fish eggs, by the way, but the caviar is very, like, it goes from, the top, they fill the little tin all the way. So, obviously you're getting such a small amount, you want all that small amount, so they fill it all the way with caviar. So it's a nice little amount. It seems generous, but again, this tin is the size of my palm. So, and it's like just barely like a fingernail deep, right? You're not getting a whole lot. I think mine says 30 grams, which translates to 1 ounce. I got 1 ounce of this, right? 1 ounce of this, and here's the cream, right? This is like a normal size. The cream is a normal size, like, you buy like you buy something, you buy like a container of like sour cream or something at the grocery store, right? This is that size. So this is creme fraiche, which is just a French version of like whipped cream essentially, but it does taste good. It has a very like plain bland flavor, but not like, so kind of similar to like plain yogurt, except it's a little easier on the palate, than it's a little easier on the palate than yogurt would be. So it's like if plain yogurt with no flavoring actually tasted good. That's what this is. So it's cultured cream, um, and so obviously this is the caviar next to it. It's very small, right? Um, so basically, the whole process of this was that we. So basically, you guys can see here. This is the blinis. We got. I got the cream, the caviar, and I got the little pancakes. And these pancakes you put in the microwave for like 10 seconds, and they're piping hot. And so the process for here was, I decorated. You heat up one of these pancakes. You put the cold cream on top. You kind of spread it with a spoon, with the back of a spoon, and then you put a little spoonful of caviar on top, and that's your little treat. So basically, the process for this is, the best way to experience caviar is, the best way to experience caviar, apparently, according to the experts. So I watched a video on this. Is you're supposed to go the caviar, spoon out just a little bit, not don't, you can't use a metal spoon, right? The metal actually interferes, with the flavor of the caviar. So I used like, if we go to a yogurt shop every once in a while, like a frozen yogurt shop, and they give these spoons. They're not quite plastic, but they're made with a certain material that like, adheres well to the cold. So I used that kind of spoon. So what you do is you spoon out a little bit of caviar by itself. You eat that, and you do that, and then you spoon out a little bit of that. Sorry, I lost focus, guys. You spoon out a little bit of that, and you try that on its own. You get that flavor, that intense raw flavor of the caviar itself. You try that, and then once you've tasted that, once you've kind of gotten adjusted to that, then you go ahead, and in this picture you guys can see, like how we have little shot glasses. Those are filled with champagne. The best way to eat caviar is do a little spoonful of just the caviar first. Taste it, really get to the feel of it, get to know the flavor, and then take a little sip of champagne to sort of like wash your palate. And then champagne is very, like, I guess it's flavorless, you could say, but it's like sparkling. It's like a slightly flavored sparkling water, sort of. So that's what champagne is. And so you drink the champagne just a little bit, and then you make one of these little pancakes, one of these blinis pancakes with the cream spread on top and the caviar on top, and then you just eat it. Right, it's a one bite sort of thing. These are very small cakes. They're probably smaller than this tin is. So take a bite and eat that. And oh my god, guys! First, let me talk about the flavor of the caviar. The caviar itself, and I have the caviar here. It's very the caviar is fish eggs, right? So you wouldn't expect like, or you would expect like, a very fishy taste, right? You would expect like, oh, that stinky taste you smell in the fish market, you would expect that out of caviar. Some caviar tastes like that, that's bad caviar. This caviar, it's very high quality. It has that fishy taste, but the fish taste is kind of in the background. And the caviar has this sort of like sweet yet savory taste to it, with that sort of fish as the background. And I'm gonna, it's been a little while since I've tasted it, so I'm gonna try just a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, it's very hard to describe that. It's not necessarily fishy. It does have those hints of fish in there, but it does have those hints of fish in there. But first of all, the texture, right? You'd expect, oh, they're fish eggs, right? They're eggs. So you expect, an egg. If you just put an egg like a chicken egg in your mouth and you chewed on it, then the whole thing's going to burst in your mouth, right? It's going to be a very bad experience for you. It's going to be a very bad time. And so you would expect the same with fish eggs, but but on a very, obviously not as big, but you kind of expect them to burst in your mouth, and get that sort of and they have like these orange, like salmon roe. They have these giant like fish eggs. Well, that's what they do, right? The inside is very watery, and you eat it and it bursts in your mouth, and you get this intense fish flavor. Not necessarily with this. With this, it doesn't feel like it's bursting in your mouth. The eggs lose their shape as you put it in your mouth, and you press your tongue against the roof of your mouth, squishing the eggs. They don't necessarily burst in the sense that like you would normally think of. The eggs actually, they sort of like kind of disintegrate in your mouth almost. Like, since they're so small, they sort of like disintegrate into your mouth, and they blend together with kind of the outside coating from the eggs. So you put them in your mouth and you can kind of feel each individual egg like a little bit with the nerves on your tongue, but then when you do eat it, it sort of disintegrates, it sort of dissolves in your mouth. I guess that's a better word, is it dissolves in your mouth, and you get that flavor, but you don't get any surprises, right? You don't get like any kind of unpleasantry that you would expect from this. So it's taken me, I've eaten half the tin, and this is like, and it's still like very hard to describe. It's a good flavor. Honestly, like I'm gonna rate this as like a really good flavor. I do really enjoy this. I do really enjoy this taste. It's it's a little sweet. Honestly, it's a little sweet to the taste. It's a little sweet, and it's like if you had like the most delicious fish ever, right? A soothing flavor, this sort of soothing flavor in the fish, right? It didn't really taste like fish. You could tell it's fish, but it doesn't really taste like fish. But you know it's fish. And it has this soothing, slightly sweet, slightly savory sort of flavor to it, right? That's sort of what this tastes like, and it's honestly like it's amazing. It's like it's almost indescribable, and even if I use the word sweet, right? You think of like sugar. It's not sugar, right? It's truly not sugar. I'm not eating candy here. but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm eating like a stinky fish either. It's very, I guess it's very savory. It's very smooth on the palate, and the flavor is definitely, it's really good. I really like it, but it is a hitter. This sort of thing is a hit or miss for people. So that's sort of what I don't feel like I'm doing it justice at all because it tastes so much better than how I'm describing it. But it truly is the sort of savory, very smooth flavor to it that still exists. That you can still tell the flavor, and you know, and you can still tell the flavor, and it has those hints of fish. It has those little notes of fish. So that that's it's delicious. It's honestly like a really unique experience or whatever. And like I said, it's a hit or miss for most people. Um, my family didn't so much care for it. I don't know why. Um, but it's honestly, it's very delicious. I can understand why this is like a delicacy. So I can understand why people eat this all the time or whatever. So, but yeah. So you experience that, the initial like the raw, just spooning in a little bit of those fish eggs into your mouth, and just eating them and just enjoy, fully absorbing that flavor, fully understanding that flavor in your mouth. And it truly is an experience, right? You guys aren't gonna know what this tastes like until you taste it, right? I don't think like words can necessarily describe how good this tastes, or the kind of flavor it is. It's not the best thing on the planet, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely like, as far as unique flavors go, this is definitely an enjoyable one. In my opinion, it's an enjoyable one, for sure. But then you try this, you drink the champagne, and then you make your little pancake here, and this pancake really shines through. Honestly, like that sort of smooth, savory, but still like kind of strong flavor from the fish eggs gets combined with the with a sort of tame, sort of plain flavor of the cream, of the creme fraiche, um, and then that's combined also with these little hot cakes with the Brittle or whatever. I don't even remember the name of of it anymore. I said it earlier in the video, but the Belils or something. Um, Bellinis. That's what they're called. The little Bellinis. It's a very light, airy Bellini hotcake, with that tame note of the cream, in combination with the caviar. Um, it's a dish that it changes the experience of eating the caviar. It really does. But it makes it taste, it gives it a completely different experience, when you taste it. But it's still, you can still tell the caviar is the main dish of this. It's the main prominent flavor of this. And the creme fraiche and the Bellini really just enhances it. It really enhances it. It sort of transforms that flavor from just this sort of like raw, smooth but strong flavor of the caviar, into this sort of like, I guess it really brings out the sweetness of the caviar. The sweetness, but it still keeps that unique flavor to it. So it's sweet, but it's still savory. It's still like delicious. Um, it still tastes like caviar, but now you have this extra sweet element to it, or whatever. And this cream and the Bellini, you can eat them by themselves. Honestly, like, well, not individually, but like you could eat it without the caviar, in my opinion, and it would still be like really good. But the caviar is definitely the main ingredient here, as, it's the main flavor that comes out when you do consume this. So, when you do take a bite into this, and honestly, it's like, it's this really good experience. It's this really like unique flavor that you're tasting, and it's really good. And I know I'm hyping up, this caviar a whole lot. It's because I just love it. Like, honestly, like, you know, I love I love this caviar. It's delicious. It's like one of my favorite foods. I do enjoy caviar. And honestly, I can understand. I do enjoy it, but it's not like how someone would enjoy mac and cheese or enjoy pizza, right? It's something. It's a delicacy. It's a luxury. You do have to savor it. You do have to really savor it. Really go slow with the eating of it. Take really small bites and really like spend a lot of time understanding that flavor, right? It's not like, oh, I need a midnight snack, I'm gonna get some caviar, right? Even if you could afford it, it's just not that kind of food. Caviar is something that it's you it's a luxury, and it's a luxury, and your mouth knows it's a luxury, and so you really, you got to take the time to really enjoy it, right? Man, it's something that like you love, but it's like it's impossible to describe the flavor, it's impossible to describe the full experience, and it's gonna be hard for me to remember what this tastes like. Even like looking at a picture like this of the caviar afterwards, it's hard to recall the flavor, but when I'm having it, when I'm enjoying it, it's such a good experience, it's such a good flavor, and I really do enjoy it. So I was sitting there after, my family didn't care for it, so they all left, but I was sitting there and I ate like three quarters of a tin when just sitting there, just slowly, and it was small bites. It was such small bites, but I just kept going back for more. I just wanted to keep having that flavor, just keep entering my mouth. It was so good. But like I said, the flavor of caviar is a hit or miss. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And if you're not really a big fish person, if you're not really like into like sushi or like other kinds of fish, then like if you don't like tuna or shrimp or things like that, then especially if you can't tell the difference between certain kinds of fish flavors, then I think it's gonna be a lesser experience for you, and I don't think it's gonna be as enjoyable. Definitely, I'm a big like foodie. I'm a big like food connoisseur, so I I go out and search for foods that like taste amazing, and this is definitely one of them. This is definitely one of the foods that I can tell it apart from the rest, right? If there was a little bit of caviar in my fish dish for dinner and nobody told me about it, I would be able to recognize it because it's just that good to me. Because it's just, my palate recognizes that. But, obviously to some people they wouldn't. And, some people, it's not going to be as enjoyable. But, that's what this is. It's a delicacy, right? You're not gonna, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not an experience for everybody. So, I mean, I think everybody should try this once. I think that, something like caviar is a very enjoyable, or is something unique. It's very unique, and it's something that, and it's something that caviar is definitely something that like you need to experience it just to know what people are talking about, right? What is caviar? Why do you keep talking about it? Yada yada, right? Well, then you taste it and you're like, okay, this is caviar. This is what it talks, this is what people are talking about. when they experience caviar. And then you can decide, hey, I like it. It's really good. Or you can decide, hey, I don't like it. It's not that great. I don't really like, the sort of fishy flavor to it. And it does have a little bit of that fish grime to it. It does definitely have that, a little bit of fish sliminess to it. It's very subtle. It's very subtle in there, but it still exists. And I think people who are sensitive to like the bad qualities of fish are going to notice those aspects of the caviar more, and they're not going to be able to enjoy it as much as like someone like me, right? Because I grew up on fish, and I enjoy fish, and I can tell the difference between tuna and salmon, for Pete's sake. So that's definitely that's what. Yeah, it's more enjoyable for me because it's this unique flavor or whatever, right? It's not for everybody, but I was recommended this caviar by a YouTuber, and he said, because he was trying different kinds of caviars, and he was like, okay, try it. You should try it. Just it's good, but try like the cheapest one first, and to see if you like it, and then if you decide, yeah, you like it, then you can go and purchase more or whatever, right? So I got this caviar off of a website, or off of this caviar is called Caviar Petrosian Paris. So basically, this company was founded in Paris, and this company was founded in Paris, and they make caviar. They farm it. They're caviar farms. You guys can look up a YouTube video. Gordon Ramsay, pretty popular guy, he goes to a caviar farm where they look at the fish and they see like, okay, how are these fish raised? How are they bred? And how are the eggs farmed from them? And it's a very fascinating video. You look up Gordon Ramsay caviar, and you'll probably find it. He's in like a facility with handling fish or whatever. It's an interesting video, but so you can tell where caviar comes from. But if you guys want to see, they have the website here for caviar, so you guys can see exactly how much I spent. So I got the cheapest one. So this is I got the Osetra. The Osetra is definitely it's the cheapest, but I think it's the most. I wouldn't define it as being cheap. I would define it as being like beginner friendly. Osetra is I don't know if it's a type of caviar. I believe there is an Osetra fish. Yeah, it looks like it. And this is the kind of fish that's used for the caviar. So you look at this, and I got the classic Osetra here. So you read the description. This rich, briny, aromatic caviar is recommended for first timers. I got 30 grams of it, right? That's 1 ounce. Remember, that's 1 ounce, and it was $82. So very, I guess nutty would be a good word, although it's not like peanut butter. It's not like the same kind of tinginess as peanut butter would give you, right? It's definitely like more on the lighter side, like of nutty. Briny, yeah, the briny is definitely that texture of like, that fish sort of like a little bit slimy texture, but the caviar itself, it doesn't really feel like it's slimy, but I can see how people would, notice that. And it is very juicy. It's not like burst in your mouth, right? I explained that it's not, You know, it's not like burst in your mouth juicy, but it's very savory. It's very smooth and savory, you know, going down. So definitely, definitely, yeah. And you know, and so with this caviar, I did get the mini blinis, which are these little hotcakes right here. I did get the creme fraiche, which is right here, and I did get those. And you look at these prices, right? $10 for the creme fraiche, and 14 for the blinis, and you know, and then it was $40 for shipping. So I did pay a lot of money, but for this I paid, you know, almost $150 for this experience. But really, like, the whole thing altogether, it was an experience, and I truly did enjoy the experience. I truly enjoyed, you know, being able to try caviar, being able to experience this unique flavor, and be able to say, like, with confidence, I like caviar. I really like caviar. I think, you know, it's definitely one of my favorite foods now. It's definitely something that I look forward to enjoying again. Honestly, um, I really do look forward to enjoying um, caviar again. And I mean, who knows? Maybe, you know, if I ever do want to get something from this website again, maybe I'll go spend a little more money. Maybe I'll get that Royal Osetra caviar. Maybe I'll get, you know, a different one. Maybe I'll try, you know, the Special Reserve Osetra, you know, for a lot more for a lot more money or whatever, right? You look at these prices. Special Reserve Osetra, for that same amount, for that tin that fits in your palm, it's $400. Can you imagine $400 for just this little, for 1 ounce of something? But the video that I watched, it's like, oh, try, you know, I try $1,400 worth of caviar. So he got like 5 different kinds. He got the classic Osetra, which I tried, and he got this, and he got a couple other ones, and he definitely said, like, this is definitely like the best. This is definitely the best one. It doesn't look that great. It looks like corn, kind of, but, you know, don't take his word for it. You know, honestly, he was pretty correct about, you know, this classic Osetra that I have, the this one that I bought. I can just keep going. I probably could have bought the freaking 1 kilogram one, and just, and, you know, just kept going at it. And I can tell, you know, it says serves 1 on here. Yeah, it really does serve 1. I'm missing this caviar already. I'm not even done with it, but I only have a little bit left. I am missing, you know, having this experience of, like, knowing that I have a lot of this to consume or whatever, right? So but it's so pricey. Oh my god. So, do I like the caviar? Do I like the classic Osetra caviar? Yes, I do. What would I rate it on a scale from 1 to 10? Well, personal preference, I would give it a 9. I would give it a 9 out of 10. You know, since this is my first review, I mean, a 9 out of 10 doesn't mean anything. But I would give foods like, you know, like macaroni and cheese, or, like, you know, my baked Z pasta. You know, like, I would give, like, my baked Z pasta probably like a 5 or a 6 on the scale, right? But even though, you know, I talk it up, I say, like, oh, this is such a good dish or whatever. If I make, like, the best macaroni and cheese ever, I'd probably give that, like, with, like, a lot of different flavors and, you know, whatever, right? Like this macaroni and cheese that I get from Los Angeles. that I go out of my way to go get, that I'll go make the trip to go get, I would give that like an 8, right? Like that's one of my favorite foods of all time, and I would give that like an 8. This caviar, I'd give a 9. So this is way above the normal standard for what food is, for what flavors are. This caviar is definitely like a unique experience that I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember the joy of eating this caviar for quite a while after. And so, and I'm gonna keep the tin, and I'm gonna remember that, how good this tasted, the uniqueness of it, the flavors of this caviar, just everything all together. That smooth experience is going to just that's gonna stick with me or whatever. Even if I can't remember the exact flavors, I'm gonna remember how much I loved it. So that's definitely, it was a worthwhile venture to try, obviously. Now, I rated it a 9 out of 10. Do I think it's worth the price? Now, here's the kicker, all right? Do I think it's worth the price? No. The quick answer, the short answer is no. I don't think it was worth me spending $150 to get the small amount of the cheapest possible caviar. But the $82 that is said on the website that this caviar cost, if I could just go to a store, tomorrow morning and pay $80 and get this caviar, I would say it's worth it. I would honestly say it's worth it at that price. At $80 for this little tin, I would say it's worth it. Is it worth it every day? No. Is it worth it every week? No. Is it even worth it when, next month when I crave it again? No, it's not. I'm all about being frugal. I'm all about, keeping my costs to a minimum. I do not think this is worth it to consume frequently. If it's a special occasion, like I'm celebrating something, or, something I've been waiting for has come to an end, or, or I've just made an accomplishment, or I've just won a lot of money, or, it's my birthday and I feel like treating myself, any kind of occasion. This is worth the money. This is worth the money to be able to enjoy, to be able to know that I'm able to spend the money to enjoy it. And knowing that, having that there, is definitely it's worth the price. I believe it's worth the extra money that I gotta shell out to do it for a special occasion. But it has to be a truly special occasion, and I have to be wanting it. If I tick both those boxes, if I fill that criteria, then the caviar is definitely worth it. But yeah, I don't believe that just getting this one tin for a one-time experience is necessarily worth all the money that I had to put towards it. If it was just $80 and I could get it from the store, or I have to wait more time for it to ship, then it'd be worth it. But with how much trouble, or with how much extra cost there is to getting it, I can't say that just having this is worth it. So I'd say if you guys want to try it, if you've seen caviar being mentioned on the internet, and you just want to see what all the hype is about, and you have the extra money, then go for it, right? Go for it. And get the blinis and the creme fraiche as well with it, because that's going to give you a different experience, and it's the same shipping cost whether you get them or not, so you might as well spend the extra $20 just to get, you're already spending $80 and then $40 for shipping, so you might as well. But yeah, I'd say I'd say if it's your first time and you really want to try it and you have the extra money, then you can go for it. But if you don't have the extra money, or if you're just hearing it from this and you're like, I guess, then no, don't do it. It's not worth the money. That money is much better spent on other things, right? I could have gotten a hotel room for a night and gone out to eat during a vacation for this $150, but instead I got a little tin of caviar and a few pancakes, essentially, and some cream. That's what I got with that money instead. So I got to try it. I got to know that I like it, but I won't do this a second time unless there's very good reason to, essentially. So I'll look forward to the next time that I do it, but I'll restrict myself from doing it. I'll limit myself from doing it or whatever, right? Caviar is truly something for people who have a lot of money and who don't have anything else to spend it on. That's what caviar is for. If I had a better paying job, if I was making, $30 an hour or whatever, then yeah, I would get caviar probably, once a month or once every couple months or whatever, right? Just because. But, I'm not, I don't make that much money, right? I make half that. So, every dollar that I earn is a dollar saved. And, that's not, I can't be wasting that much money on something like this, right? I can't work for a full week just to afford one of these little tins of caviar, right? But that's just my opinion, obviously, right? You guys can live however you want, right? I can think of 100 different better things to spend my money on, but maybe you guys can't. And if you like caviar, then go for it, right? But as much as I like it, I can't have it all the time, and I'm sad that I can't have it all the time, but definitely it was an enjoyable experience. I do rate the entire experience a 9 out of 10. God, guys, it's just so good. It's just so good. It's that savory feeling to it. Oh man, it's a lot lighter of a flavor than you would expect, but still delicious. I'm gonna save a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see, I have this, out of the whole tin, I have like this little amount left. I'm save this for tomorrow. Enjoy myself for tomorrow. Remember the flavor. And after that, I'll lick the tin clean, wash it out, and I'll keep it as a souvenir. So, yeah. Petrosian, Osetra Caviar, 9 out of 10. I'm sure the hype is real behind caviar. And I'm sure the hype for more expensive caviar is definitely real too. I wouldn't doubt it. Not at all. But again, this is not an acquired taste. This is a hit or miss for people. So everyone should try it once. Special occasion, extra cash, whatever, right? Everyone should try it once. And then if you decide that you like it, then obviously it's a great thing. It was a good experience for you. And if you decide you didn't like it, then, well, at least you tried it, right? At least you can come home and say, hey, I didn't like it. So, but yeah, this is definitely a hit for me. This is definitely a thumbs up. Caviar is a fantastic thing. And I am so happy that I got to try it. I'm so happy that I got to do this, So yeah, anyway guys, that's going to be it for me. This has been BigPasta's review on caviar. I hope you all liked it. I hope you all enjoyed me talking about a food that, I really enjoy. So I really did enjoy this. I think the caviar was fantastic. So, but yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for me. This has been Big Pasta Gaming. You guys have been Little Pasta watching, and I hope you enjoyed this quick little segment. That's, you know, this is off the beaten path. I'm not gaming here, so I'm not gaming here tonight. So I'm just gonna play one of my phone games for the rest of the evening. Maybe continue watching. If you guys noticed on the Caviar website, I did have a tab for Dr. Stone up. Dr. Stone, I really like the manga, so I wanted to continue, reading that. But I probably won't after this video. I am feeling a little tired, so I'll probably hit the hay pretty soon. But I've had a pretty long day. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I hope you all enjoyed this little review, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye, everybody. Sayonara. Take care, everyone. Hope you all have a great night and a good day tomorrow. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care.